Hello and welcome to Aiuos' video presenting its additional symbols of closed shapes. Aiuos is a symbols language made of closed shapes. Aiuos' first version was made at years 2018 to 2019. The first version of Aiuos has 23 symbols to it, symbols of closed shapes. Later on, while Aiuos was developed, more symbols of closed shapes were made and added to the language. In this video, these symbols are presented. These are 10 additional symbols of closed shapes added to Aiuos' first version, making it 33 symbols of closed shapes in total. The 10 additional symbols of closed shapes that have reached the bar of Aiuos and were added are very important because they last on with the language's first version, making it a whole work altogether. It has been a holy journey and a beautiful one since years 2018 to 2019. God bless. Please let us move on to presenting the symbols of closed shapes of Aiuos. So the first shape we're going to see is going to be called Chich. Chich represents the sound of ch as in KH. Chich has the shape of a 3-step staircase going down to both sides, left and right of his, and from the middle top part. The next shape we're going to see is going to be called Aiuos. Aiuos represents the sound of U, and Aiuos has the same shape as a Yule has, only smaller. The next shape we're going to see is going to be called Yi. Yi represents the sound of E, and Yi has the same shape as VE, only smaller. The next shape we're going to see is going to be called Aiuos. Aiuos represents the sound of R, only vibrating R, such as in a Spanish R would have. And Aiuos has the shapes of 5 quadrangles standing and floating next to each other, 1 long rectangle standing in the middle, 2 medium-sized rectangles floating to both sides of it standing, and 2 small squares floating to both sides of these 2 medium-sized rectangles, making it 5 to stand in a straight line from left to right. The next shape is going to be called Ojo, and Ojo represents the sound of J, such in GH. Ojo has the shape of a big circle, missing a circle piece at its bottom. The next shape we're going to see is going to be called Vech. Vech represents the sound of ch as in KH would have, only it is the sound of an Arabic pronunciation of KH, such as in and it has the shape of a hexagon standing on one of his sides. The next shape we're going to see is going to be called Ov, and Ov represents the sound of a consonantal vowel, such as would be pronounced in Arabic, and it has the shape of a circle, having a big circle having 2 medium-sized circles added to both sides of it as a part of its shape. The next shape we're going to see is going to be called Gil, and Gil represents the sound of E. Gil has the shape of 3 medium-sized circles connected to each other from 2 top sides to their middle bottom, where the circles are located. And fix that. The next shape we're going to see is going to be called High. High represents the sound of E. High has the shape of a pentagon standing on one of his sides. And the last shape we're going to see is going to be called Nai. Nai represents the sound of E, and Nai has the shape of a pentagon standing on one of his points, making it the same as High, only upside down. And these are the 10 additional symbols of closed shapes added to Aiuos' first version of 23 symbols of closed shapes for Speakable Sounds along its development. Thank you very, very much. This is Lionel. This is Aiuos, and we will see you on the next video. God bless. A lot of love.